Hello everyone, in this video we're going to see how to improve problem solving skills. So a lot of people come to me and they say that they're having troubles in solving problems and that they're not able to come up with the right approach, they're not able to understand the problem and they're having issues like that. And to be honest, when I was starting out, when I was learning programming, I was very bad at problem solving and I could not solve even the easiest of problems and I would be getting stuck on the easiest of problems for hours at end. But eventually with a lot of practice and by trying out a lot of techniques, I was able to become good at it. And I can say with utmost confidence that anyone can become good at problem solving. It doesn't matter what your college is, it doesn't matter what your background is, but if you follow the right techniques and if you work hard enough, then you will become good at problem solving. So the working hard part, that's on you. You're gonna have to work hard, but the techniques part is where I come in. So I'm going to tell you how you can improve your problem solving skill within the next 30 days. So I'm going to give you a few tips, and if you follow these tips, then you will see an improvement within the next month. So let's start with tip number 1, that is start giving long contests or long challenges. So there's two types of contest. One is a short contest like the one on Codeforces, which goes on for duration of around 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, etc. And then you have a long contest, which goes on for days at end. For example, you have HackerEarth, which has circuits, which goes on for 7 days. And you have CodeChef long challenges, which goes on for 3 days. Earlier it used to go on for 10 days. So in a long contest, you have these days to solve the problem and you have ample amount of time to think about the problem, to even learn new things, learn new concepts for solving the problem. So sometimes in short contests, what happens is that as soon as the contest ends, you jump straight to the solution and you don't give yourself enough time to develop your own approach or to develop an intuition for the problem. But in a long contest, you don't have access to the solution, so you don't have any choice but to keep thinking about how to solve the problem. And what used to happen with me when I was giving CodeChef long challenges is that I would be getting stuck on a problem, and just to solve that problem, I would be learning new algorithms, new techniques, new concepts, and eventually I would be able to formulate an approach that solved the problem. So solving long challenges or solving long contests, being a part of long contests is a great way to improve your problem solving skills. It's a great way to learn new algorithms, to learn new concepts, and to improve your skills. Because in that period of time, you have no choice but to think about the problem, to try to find new ways to solve the problem, and your brain automatically goes into like problem solving mode and you start grinding your gears to solve the problem. In fact, a lot of red coders I know have used long contests, long challenges to improve their problem solving skills. For example, I had Aryan Chaudhary on my channel, who's one of the top programmers of India, and he told that long challenges immensely helped him in improving upon his problem solving skills. So tip number 1 is try to give long contests, and in that time try to learn new algorithms, try to solve the problem, try to develop an intuition, and try to give all of your mind to the problems, to solving the problems. Then tip number 2 is start making notes. So note making is very important in programming and in solving problems, and you cannot underestimate the advantage that note making will give you. So I want you to make notes of everything that you're learning. So whenever you're learning a new algorithm, whenever you're learning a new data structure, whenever you're learning a new concept, I want you to make a note of it. So either keep a notebook, a physical notebook, or you can keep a Google Doc, Notion, whatever it is. But whenever you're learning something new, try to keep a note of it. So suppose you're solving a problem and you're not able to solve the problem and you find that there was an algorithm that you were missing. So when you learn that algorithm, make a note of that algorithm in your notes. So what I used to do was I had a Google Doc, and whenever there was a problem I could not solve, I used to keep that problem and I used to store it in the notes, and I also used to store the algorithm that I was missing or the concept that I was missing for solving the problem. And then time to time, I kept on going back to the docs and revising the algorithms, the concepts, whatever it was. So keep notes of what you're learning, the algorithms, the topics, whatever you're learning, try to keep notes on it, and it will give you a very good advantage in competitive programming or in problem solving. Tip number 3 is have a clear head. So whenever you're in an interview, whenever you're in a coding contest, then you need to have a clear head. Because what happens sometimes is that you look at the problem and you see that you don't have any solution for the problem, and you start to panic. So your brain goes into panic mode and your cognitive ability goes down and your chances of solving the problem also goes down. So it's very important that you keep a level head, you keep a calm head while solving the problem. So whenever you're faced with a problem and you're feeling like you're starting to panic, then just keep calm, try to play around with the test cases, try to see if there's a corner test case you're missing, Try to read the problem again to see if you understand it fully. Try different things, but don't panic, because if you start to panic, then like I said, your ability will go down and it's not going to help you. So it's very important to keep a clear head, to keep a calm head. And few things that will help you in this regard are sleeping well. So try to get proper sleep. Meditation, you can try out meditation. It will really help focus. And try to have a good diet. So these things might seem irrelevant, but in the long run, they're going to help your brain focus and they're going to help improve your thinking ability. So going ahead with tip number 4, that is learn from the approaches of others. So whenever you're solving a problem, you have got an approach and you've submitted a solution that worked, but that might not be the only solution to the problem, right? There might be different approaches to one problem. So whenever you solve a problem, when you see that the problem is accepted, you see the problem is solved, don't just leave it be. Try to see if there's other approaches to the same problem. Try to see if there's other solutions to the same problem. And you might see a more optimized approach. You might see an easier approach that someone else has, which is better than your approach. So try to see the different approaches to the problem that you have solved, and that will also help you learn something new. You can even check out the codes that other people wrote, obviously after the contest. You can check out the codes that other people wrote. So one thing I used to do is I used to check the submission of the highest rated coders in the contest, and from that I would learn new techniques, new coding techniques, new code snippets, and I would learn how to optimize my code, and I would find new approaches to solving the problem. Some approaches were simpler than the approach I used. So like this, you can learn from the approaches of others, you can learn how to optimize your approach, and that will also help you in solving further problems down the line. So try to learn from the approaches of others. Whenever you're done solving a problem, don't just let it go. Try to see the other approaches that other people have. So the last and final tip number 5, that is solving puzzles. So in computer science community, there's a lot of puzzles that are sometimes asked in interviews as well. And a lot of these puzzles are sometimes very complex and very mind-bending. So when you start solving these puzzles, it improves your thinking ability, because you have to think of new ways, creative ways, and different ways to solve the puzzle. So your mind develops this problem solving ability. It develops this ability to think of different approaches for solving the puzzle. And the same ability you can even implement in solving the problems. So try solving these puzzles in your spare time. So Geeks has a lot of these puzzles, great puzzles. So you can try solving them whenever you have free time, whenever you have spare time. You can start solving these puzzles, and they will immensely help you in thinking clearly and in improving your thinking ability. So that's pretty much it. I gave you 5 tips which you can follow through, and if you solve problems, if you work hard enough, if you give contests, and if you practice, like practice is the key word, right? Without practice, no matter what technique you use, it's useless. So practice a lot, follow these techniques, follow the tips I gave you, practice a lot, and you'll definitely see an improvement. And one bonus tip that I'm going to give you is solve problems daily. Okay? So consistency is the key here. You should be solving problems daily. Even if you solve one problem every day, keep on solving problem daily. Don't try to skip a day. Solve problems daily, at least for a month, and follow these tips, and you'll definitely see an improvement. So that's pretty much it. If you have any doubts or if you want to share something, please let me know in the comments. I'll be sure to answer. Thank you.